Have you ever thought that something as simple as the bread you choose every morning could either protect your heart or slowly damage it? Most people after 65 don't realize how powerful this small decision really is. And today, I'm going to show you how making the right bread choice can literally save your heart. Before we dive in, I want to know who's watching. Write your age in the comments below. I love to see the community we are building here. And if you are serious about your health after 60, make sure you subscribe right now. Turn on notifications because every week I share science-backed tips to protect your heart, your joints, your sleep, and your energy. And leave a comment at the end to tell me your own experience with bread and heart health. So let's talk about bread. For many seniors, bread is part of daily life. A sandwich, toast in the morning, maybe a roll with soup. But not all bread is equal. In fact, the difference between white bread and whole grain bread can be the difference between clogged arteries and a strong beating heart. Studies have shown that people over 65 who switch to whole grains lower their risk of heart attack by as much as 30%. Imagine that, just from a simple switch in bread. Why is this so important after 65? Because as we age, our arteries naturally stiffen, blood pressure rises, cholesterol tends to go up, and the body doesn't handle sugar as well as before. White bread, the kind that looks fluffy and soft, is actually very hard on the body. It breaks down quickly into sugar, spikes your blood sugar, and triggers insulin. Over years, this constant roller coaster damages the lining of your blood vessels. That is one reason seniors who eat a lot of white bread have higher rates of heart disease. A question for you. Have you noticed that after eating white bread, you feel hungry again very quickly? Write in the comments if you've experienced that. Now, compare that with whole grain bread. Whole grains contain the bran, the germ, and the endosperm, the full package nature designed. They are packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fiber slows down sugar absorption, protects your digestive system, and even binds to cholesterol in your gut, helping flush it out. There was a Harvard study that followed more than 70,000 people. It found that those who ate at least 2 servings of whole grains per day had significantly lower risk of heart failure, stroke, and diabetes. But here's the thing. Many seniors think that they were eating healthy bread when they not. Walk into a supermarket and you'll see labels like multigrain, wheat bread, or farmhouse style. These sound healthy, but often they are just white bread dyed brown with molasses or caramel color. The only way to know is to read the label. If the first ingredient says whole wheat flour or whole rye, that's the real deal. If it just says wheat flour, that's usually white refined flour. And that difference changes everything for your heart. I remember a story of a patient, Maria, who was 68. She had been eating white rolls with butter every morning for decades. Her doctor warned her cholesterol was creeping up, and she already had some plaque buildup in her arteries. She decided to switch to whole grain rye bread. Within a year, not only did her cholesterol numbers improve, but she said she felt full longer and stopped snacking on cookies between meals. She told me, "It's just bread, but it feels like it gave me back control." That's the power of the right bread choice. Let's talk numbers because I know many of you love concrete data. A slice of white bread has about 0.5 grams of fiber. A slice of whole grain bread? Around 3 grams. That difference may sound small, but when you add it up across your diet, it means your digestive system works smoother, your cholesterol levels improve, and your blood sugar spikes are reduced. Research shows that seniors who eat 25 grams of fiber per day lower their risk of heart disease by up to 40%. And bread is one of the easiest ways to get there if you choose wisely. But maybe you're wondering, what about gluten? Some people over 65 are told to avoid bread because of gluten sensitivity. Here's the truth. If you have celiac disease or confirmed gluten intolerance, of course you must avoid gluten. But for the majority, the real problem isn't gluten, it's the processed flour and lack of nutrients in white bread. In fact, certain whole grain breads, especially sourdough, are actually easier to digest because the fermentation breaks down gluten and sugars. Have you tried sourdough after 65? Share in the comments. I'd love to hear if it feels lighter on your stomach. Now let's bust a myth. Brown bread is always healthy. That's false. Color doesn't equal nutrition. Some of the worst breads for your heart are brown, sweetened loaves with added sugar. Always look for the word whole as the first ingredient. Another myth is that seniors should avoid bread entirely. That's also not true. Bread, when chosen correctly, can be an important source of fiber, magnesium, and even plant-based protein. It's about choosing smart, not cutting everything. Let's explore practical advice. Next time you shop, here's what you should look for. Choose bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Look for less than 3 grams of sugar. Aim for whole grain flours as the first ingredient. Even better, try breads with seeds like flax or chia. These provide extra omega-3 fatty acids, which also protect the heart. And if you want to go further, consider baking your own bread at home with whole grain flour. Many seniors find baking to be relaxing, and you can control exactly what goes inside. I also want to share a study from the American Heart Association. They looked at seniors over 65 and compared those who ate refined grains versus whole grains. The whole grain eaters had lower levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation. Lower inflammation means lower risk of heart attack and stroke. This is not just about calories, it's about protecting your arteries from the inside out. Now, maybe you are thinking, okay, I'll switch bread, but will it really make a difference if I've already had heart problems? The answer is yes. Diet changes can benefit you at any age. Even if you already had a stent placed or a minor heart attack, choosing whole grains can improve recovery, stabilize blood sugar, and help prevent another event. It's never too late to start. Think about it. One small choice every day adds up to big results. Over a year, that's hundreds of meals where you either fed your heart junk or you gave it strength. Seniors who understand this live longer, healthier, and more independent lives. And remember, independence is priceless. Before we finish, let me ask you, have you ever switched from white to whole grain bread? Did you notice a change in your digestion, your energy, maybe even your cholesterol numbers? Leave a comment below because your story might inspire someone else watching this. And here's something important. If you want extra support for your heart, supplements like omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and coenzyme Q10 have been studied for seniors. I've left an affiliate link in the description where you can find high-quality options I personally recommend. Supporting your heart isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about building strength for the years ahead. So to wrap up, white bread may be soft and tasty, but after 65 it can silently damage your arteries. Whole grain bread, on the other hand, feeds your heart, stabilizes your sugar, and lowers your cholesterol. This is one of the simplest, most powerful choices you can make. Don't underestimate it. Subscribe now if you haven't yet, because next week I'll talk about another surprising food that can either heal or harm your body after 60. Hit that like button to support the channel and share this video with someone you love, because maybe they need this message more than you know. And don't forget, write in the comments, what kind of bread do you usually eat and how old are you? I can't wait to read your answers. Now, let's go even deeper, because I want you to really understand how bread impacts not only your heart, but your entire aging process. After 65, your body becomes more sensitive to what you eat, and bread, being such a frequent part of the diet, acts almost like medicine, for better or for worse. Think about this, your gut health. Scientists now call the gut the second brain, because it communicates directly with your heart, immune system, even your mood. White bread feeds harmful bacteria in your intestines because it breaks down into sugar so fast. That encourages inflammation, which is one of the silent killers for seniors. Chronic inflammation damages the inner lining of blood vessels and accelerates plaque buildup. Whole grain bread, on the other hand, is packed with prebiotic fibers that nourish the good bacteria. This improves digestion, reduces constipation, which is another very common issue after 65, and lowers systemic inflammation. Have you noticed digestive issues after eating bread? Write in the comments if this happens to you, because many people don't realize it's connected. I also want to highlight something many seniors don't hear about: minerals. Whole grains are rich in magnesium and potassium. Magnesium helps relax your blood vessels, lowering blood pressure naturally. Potassium balances sodium, which is crucial if you eat salty foods. When you choose refined bread, you miss out on these minerals. Over time, this lack can contribute to hypertension and arrhythmias. Imagine lowering your blood pressure just by choosing better bread. It's possible. Let's take another real-world story. Robert, age 72, loved his morning bagel. His doctor warned him about pre-diabetes, but Robert said, "It's just one bagel, it can't matter that much." After he joined a senior nutrition program, he swapped his bagel for a slice of sprouted whole grain bread with avocado. Within 6 months, his fasting blood sugar dropped, and his doctor took him off one medication. He told me, "I never thought bread mattered this much." And yet, it did. We also need to talk about energy. Seniors often complain of fatigue, feeling tired by midday. One reason is unstable blood sugar. White bread spikes your sugar, then drops it quickly, leaving you drained. Whole grains release energy slowly, so you feel steady for hours. That's why people who switch often report feeling more energetic and less dependent on naps. Have you felt that afternoon crash after a sandwich or pastry? Share it in the comments if this happens to you. Another fascinating area is brain health. Did you know that seniors who eat more whole grains have a lower risk of dementia? It's not just about the heart, it's about blood flow to the brain. The same arteries that feed your heart also feed your memory. When they stay clear and flexible, your brain gets more oxygen. A large study in Europe showed that seniors with the highest whole grain intake had better memory and slower cognitive decline. Choosing bread wisely isn't only about living longer, it's about keeping your mind sharp to enjoy life. Now let's address another myth. Low-carb diets mean no bread at all. Many seniors try keto or strict low-carb, and while it can help in certain cases, cutting out all whole grains may deprive you of essential fiber and nutrients. The key is not zero bread, but the right bread in the right amount. Even 1 or 2 slices a day of quality whole grain bread can make a measurable difference. Let's also look at portion control. Bread itself isn't the enemy, it's how much and what kind. A thin slice of dense rye bread is completely different from a giant white sandwich roll. Seniors should focus on quality and moderation, and pairing bread with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado actually improves nutrient absorption and further protects the heart. Something else I want you to know is about glycemic index, or GI. White bread has one of the highest GI values, meaning it spikes your blood sugar almost as fast as candy. Whole grain breads, especially those with seeds, have a much lower GI, leading to steady sugar levels. For seniors managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, this choice can be life-changing. Let's pause here. I want to ask you, if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, what kind of bread do you usually eat? Do you feel a difference when you switch? Please share in the comments. Your experience could guide others who are struggling. Now, I also want to talk about practical swaps. If you usually eat white toast, replace it with sprouted wheat or rye. If you love rolls, look for whole grain versions with visible seeds. If you enjoy sandwiches, try using 1 slice of dense whole grain bread folded in half instead of 2 large slices of refined bread. These little hacks reduce your sugar load and increase your nutrient intake. We also can't ignore sodium. Many commercial breads are loaded with salt, which raises blood pressure. Seniors already face higher risks of hypertension, so reading labels is crucial. Ideally, bread should have less than 150 milligrams of sodium per slice. Whole grain artisan breads often have less salt than factory-made white loaves. Let's take a scientific angle again. A study from Tufts University followed older adults for 10 years. Those who ate whole grains daily had waistlines 2 inches smaller on average than those who ate refined grains. Why does this matter? Belly fat isn't just cosmetic. It produces inflammatory chemicals that raise your risk of heart disease. So, yes, bread choice even affects your waistline in your 70s. And if you're thinking, I'm too old to change now, let me reassure you. Research shows that even seniors who switch diets in their 70s or 80s still gain benefits. Your arteries can stabilize, your blood sugar can improve, and your energy can return. It's never too late. I'd also like to share one more patient story. Helen, age 80, had lived on tea and white toast for years. Her granddaughter encouraged her to try seeded whole grain bread with nut butter instead. Within months, Helen said she felt stronger walking, her digestion improved, and her doctor said her cholesterol dropped for the first time in a decade. She laughed and said, "All from changing toast?" Yes, even toast can matter. Finally, I want to circle back to you. What's your personal bread story? Have you noticed health changes linked to bread? Maybe digestive issues, blood pressure changes, or energy shifts? Please write in the comments. Your feedback builds a powerful community of seniors supporting seniors. And don't forget, if you want to take your heart health even further, check the description for my recommended supplements. Omega-3 magnesium and coenzyme Q10 are especially beneficial after 65. I've included an affiliate link where you can learn more. So here's the bottom line. Bread is not just bread. After 65, it's a daily decision that can either damage your arteries or protect them. Choose wisely, and you choose health, energy, and independence for years to come. If this video helped you, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with your friends or family members over 60. And remember to comment below. What is your age and what kind of bread do you usually eat? I can't wait to hear from you.